You are tuned into a special Player Spotlight interview on the CS Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the CS Podcast presented by the NUC NFL Draft Bible, bringing you the names that you need to know first since 2002. Visit NFLDraftBible.com. I'm your guys' host, Chris Shanafelt, and joining the show now for a Player Spotlight interview is 2016 NFL Draft prospect Reggie Gilbert, defensive end out of the University of Arizona. We appreciate you taking some time this evening, Reggie. Can you believe that your collegiate career is all over and now here you are getting ready for an opportunity at the next level?
Yeah, it's definitely. I've been playing Arizona a long time, but that's just one chapter in my life. So I'm just getting ready to open up another one.
And talk about making the decision to attend the University of Arizona coming out of high school. Were there any other schools interested in you, and how did you determine that, getting your education and playing for the Arizona Wildcats would be the best opportunity for you?
Yeah. I actually had quite a few schools offer me and with interest in me, but the biggest thing for me was that Tucson was it was far enough so I could become my own man, but close enough that if I ever needed to go home, I could. And I just loved everything about it. I love the coaching staff. I love the university. And I knew there was a program on the rise, so I just wanted to be a part of that.
And looking at your time at the University of Arizona, Reggie, I mean, you're able to suit up and play for the Wildcats from the get-go. As a true freshman, you played in 6 games before I see you suffered a season-ending injury. The next season, you played in all 11 games, started 8 of those. What was that like to get the opportunity to not only see time on the field, but be one of the 11 starters on the defense so early on in your collegiate career?
It was a great time. I was just excited, to finally get my feet wet with some real playing time. I'm just happy that the coaches saw enough in me to put me in that position.
And here we are now, 4 or 5 years removed from that first year of yours at the University of Arizona, Reggie. How would you say that your game as a whole has changed from that freshman year to now?
I'm definitely. I feel like I've gotten bigger, faster, stronger, and every year as I played, and I definitely feel like I progressed every year a lot. So, but I would say the biggest thing is to understand the whole concept of a team defense and understand not just what your job is, but what the guys behind you, what their job is too. Because you have to know that you have to just have trust in everybody else and trust that. Mm-hmm. Guys are going to be where they're supposed to be.
And I got to think that just kind of comes with time. And again, 5 years at Arizona, you would certainly become familiar with playing with the defense, playing alongside some of your teammates. And you've really been a staple on that defensive line ever since that 2012 season, Reggie. The following season as a redshirt sophomore, you started all 13 games. You recorded 34 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 4 sacks and a forced fumble. And in 2014, the following year after that, you started 13 out of 14 games, tallying 49 tackles, 5.5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks and a forced fumble. From the little bit that I've been able to watch, Reggie, you certainly seem to be a very consistent player. I mean, you do always see number 8 on that Arizona defensive line. Heading into this season, what were your expectations, seeing as it would be your last season as a collegiate athlete, your last go around to kind of prove to everybody that you do have what it takes to play at the next level?
My main thing, I just wanted to take just one play at a time, one snap at a time, because you never know which one's going to be your last. So I feel like I had a great off season. So I knew it was going to pay off during the season, and the game became much more easier to me playing through this season compared to my previous seasons.
And this past season as a senior, Reggie, you racked up 41 tackles and led the Wildcats with 8.5 tackles for loss and 3.5 sacks. You guys finished the regular season 6-6 before defeating New Mexico 45-37 in the New Mexico Bowl. Talk about your overall experience at Arizona playing for the Wildcats, playing on that defensive line. I mean, here you are when you were a true freshman. You suffer a season-ending injury, and from there, you start all but 4 games the remainder of your time as a Wildcat. I mean, it sounds like it was a bit of a roller coaster, but if you could, would you change anything?
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. It definitely was a roller coaster. Definitely had a lot of ups and downs, but I'm just very confident in my decision I made. I'm glad I made a decision, and it's one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. So I wouldn't change nothing about that.
And I got to think that it's every collegiate athlete's dream to get an opportunity at the next level, to play at the professional level. Did you ever think that you would be this close to achieving that dream, though, Reggie? I mean, when did you realize that you would have what it takes to play in the league? And obviously, nothing's guaranteed yet, but it certainly looks like you're on the right track to success.
Right. I would say it would have had to start a couple of years ago. I try not to pay too much attention to draft stocks and where they have you rated and stuff like that. I just love playing the game. But I would say it definitely realized about a couple of years ago when agents first started contacting me and talking to me and stuff like that. So that was a big eye opener for me, and it definitely refocused my mindset to just keep going and strive for something better than just being a great college football player.
He's the 2016 NFL draft prospect, Reggie Gilbert, defensive end out of Arizona here, joining me on the CS podcast presented by the NUC NFL Draft Bible, bringing you the names that you need to know first since 2002. Visit NFLDraftBible.com. And, Reggie, looking at your game overall, what would you say is your biggest strength as a defensive lineman, and what is one thing that you feel that you could still work on to get better at?
I feel like I have a pretty decent all-around game. I feel like I can rush the passer. I can stop the run. And I wouldn't just say it's just one thing that I need to get better at, because I like to look at, my game's constantly evolving, so I'm constantly like looking at other players in the league, and even at the college level, just trying to pick up little things about their game to improve mine. So I'm just constantly just trying to improve myself all around.
All right, sounds great. Now, obviously playing at a big-time school like Arizona, you've certainly played a lot of talented players, not only in practice, your teammates in practice, but obviously opponents as well. Again, playing at a big-time program like Arizona. Throughout your time playing college ball, though, who would you say is the best single player that you've had to go up against? I mean, it could be a teammate if you'd like to, name a teammate. It could be an opponent, and it doesn't necessarily have to be an offensive lineman.
I would say it'll have to be a guy that tore us apart. Actually, I'm glad we got the W, but I forget what year. I think it was 2012 when we beat USC at home. A guy by the name of Marquise Lee, a receiver. He came out and he showed out against us. But I would have to say that's pretty much the most dominant player that I had the opportunity to play against.
All right, and obviously Marquise Lee is now at the next level with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and you really did have a very decorated and successful collegiate career at USC. And what would you say is the most memorable play that you've made throughout your time at Arizona? I mean, looking back 5, 10, 15 years from now, Reggie, what will be the first play that comes to mind?
The first play, I would say it'll be that game too. That 2012 SC game is I believe it was like in the fourth quarter late. We needed to get the ball back, and it was a 3rd and long, and my teammates they just told me I got to get there. So I just came off the edge, and I was able to get the sack on Matt Barkley. So and I pretty much changed the game for us. And I pretty say that's a pretty big moment in my college career.
Okay, and yeah, I mean, obviously getting a quarterback sack on anybody would be great. But looking back at 2012, I mean, Matt Barkley, he's kind of at the time looked at as one of the top quarterback prospects in the country. So, and you already mentioned it. I mean, it was such a big game against USC. So, sounds great. Once again, he is the defensive end out of Arizona. Reggie Gilbert joining me here on the CS podcast, presented by the NUC NFL Draft Bible as he gets set for the 2016 NFL Draft. And Reggie, later on this month, you'll have an opportunity to play in one of the nation's top AllStar games, and that's the NFLPA Bowl. How excited are you to compete in a game with and against some of the best in the country?
I'm very excited. I'm definitely excited to suit it up soon. I don't have to wait as long as some other guys, but I'm definitely excited to get started playing football again, and definitely excited to compete with the great players that they have across the country. So I'm pretty sure that they recruited and a lot of good players committed to the All-Star Game. So I'm excited to go out there and compete.
Yeah, absolutely, and you certainly know what it's like to play against some big-time players, and there will be some guys from some of these big-time schools like a USC, Michigan State, but there will also be some guys from smaller schools as well, like a Campbell University, Azusa Pacific. So you kind of get a mixture of a little bit of everything there, but at the end of the day, they certainly know what guys can play and what guys deserve an opportunity to play in this game. And obviously you'll be taking your talents to the NFLPA Bowl later on this month down in California. After that week of practice and the game itself, what impression do you want NFL scouts to leave with when they think of the defensive end from Arizona?
I just want them to just look at my game and just see no flaws in my game. See that I'm a player with an extreme passion for the game, and I have a high motor. You know what I mean? I'm just going to give you more on every snap.
And looking further down into the process, Reggie, can you tell us where you'll be training at for your pro day, and of course, what kind of numbers you'd like to put up?
I'm gonna be training out in Fort Lauderdale at Fit Speed down there, and my pro day I believe is March 24th, and I'm gonna be doing that at Arizona. And as far as my test measurables, I'm not really setting any numbers right now. I'm just trying to be able to test at the best of my abilities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's all that's going to matter is go out there and obviously, like you said, just do your best, and I'm sure everything will turn out fine after that. You mentioned Fort Lauderdale. You're going to be you're going to be training at Fit Speed. One more question before I kind of want to carry a little bit more onto that and how you'll be training down there. Now I do see that the Arizona Athletics website has you listed at 6'4", 262. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. Just wanted to confirm that with you. Now, you're going to be practicing. I don't know why I keep on saying practicing. You're going to be training for your pro day down at Fit Speed down in Florida. It seems like Dave Schumann is having all of his clients train down there, so he's certainly hooking you guys up. Speaking of Dave Schumann, though, Reggie, I mean, talk about the process of signing with an agent. I mean, you did end up signing with Dave Schumann and Inspired Athletes. You mentioned that these agents started calling you a couple of years ago, and that's how you really realized that, maybe I do have a shot to play at the next level. What was that whole process like, and what was it about Dave Schumann that separated himself from the other agents that were knocking on your door and blowing up your phone?
Right. I mean, it was just like just recruiting coming out of high school again. Like, all these guys are contacting me like on various social medias, emails, et cetera. But I couldn't really pay too much attention. I try to just drown all that out until just focused on my season until the season was actually over. That's when I actually began to hear different guys out and meet with different guys. For me, why I decided to go with Dave, he just seemed like a real genuine guy. He's definitely like a passionate person, and so. I definitely believe that we have mutual interests and that I'm gonna work as hard as I can for him. He's gonna work as hard as he can for me, and I just really love the vibe I got from Inspired Athletes. It's more like more like a family-based agency. You know what I mean? And everybody's like pretty much close, and I really love that about the agency. So you know, I'm really proud of my decision, and just can't wait for what's next.
And you know, all that matters, like you said, is finding the person who has the best interest in you. And you know, it certainly sounds as if Dave Schumann is you know, willing to go to battle for not only you but the rest of his clients as well. And I've been connected with Dave for a little while, and nothing but great things about Dave Schumann and, of course, iAthletes. Now, Reggie, we're going to end this interview with something I like, 2-minute drill. Some of these questions will be football related, and some will just be random questions about anything. You ready to knock some of these out?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. We'll start off with, what is your favorite TV show and movie?
My favorite TV show would have to be Family Guy, and my favorite movie would have to be Paid in Full. All right, sounds good. I mean, I'll tell you what, I think if I had to say, I think Family Guy is the first show to come off the top of my head as well. Certainly, probably one of my favorites, if not my number one favorite. So you certainly cannot go wrong with Family Guy. I probably end most of my nights watching Family Guy. I'll be straight honest with you. Next question: Alabama or Clemson in tonight's national championship game? I would say I feel if it's kind of a head or tail, so you can go either way.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll have to say I feel like if it's a close game and it comes down to it, I think Clemson will get the W. But I don't know. Alabama's front seven is vicious, so like I said, it could go either way. But I think I'm gonna pull for Clemson tonight. Yeah,
you know what? You and I have a lot in common, my friend. I'll be pulling for Clemson as well. My heart is telling me to go with Clemson, but I got to say, you know, my brain is telling me to go with Alabama. You know, obviously, Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide have been there quite a few times over the last handful of years. So obviously the experience factor. And if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I would have to put my money on Alabama, but I'm certainly rooting for Deshaun Watson and the Clemson Tigers. Next question, who would you say that you model your game after? I mean, is there anybody currently playing in the NFL or any former NFL players that you kind of try to mold your game after?
I watch a lot of film on Michael Bennett, number 72 for the Seattle Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
I really like his game because he's pretty much a versatile player. You know, I like his motor, and just like you see some film of him inside pass rushing, you see some film of him outside pass rushing, and also on rundowns too. He also plays inside and outside. So that's definitely like somebody I try to model my game after. I think he's a great player.
Yeah, and certainly one of the top defensive linemen in all the NFL. If you were able to watch the playoff game against the Vikings yesterday, you've seen them all over in the backfield, making plays, you know, sacking the quarterback, getting the tackles for loss. Again, one of the top defensive linemen in the NFL, Michael Bennett, so you certainly cannot go wrong with that. Let's say you had a plane ticket to travel anywhere you wanted, Reggie. Where would you go?
Let's see. I probably will go to Hawaii. Honestly, never been there, but I have a couple of teammates on my team that they're actually from Hawaii, so I hear nothing but great things about it. So I think that's definitely on my bucket list.
Yeah, sounds good. Take me to Hawaii while you're at it. A few more questions for you, and then I'll let you go, Reggie. If you could lay a hit on a quarterback currently playing in the NFL, who would that be?
I would say Peyton Manning, just because I've watched him perform at a high level since I was a kid. So just to be like on the same field as him, it would be that would kind of be like starstruck for a little bit. You know what I mean? But I definitely feel like it'll be definitely a good time to get after him a little bit.
Oh yeah, and hopefully you'll still have that opportunity to chase after him next year. We'll see if he decides to retire or not. after this season. I'm not going to lie, I thought you were going to say Peyton Manning because, you're a Denver Broncos fan and you thought that Brock Osweiler gave you guys the best chance to win. That's kind of what I was thinking. But,
yeah.
no, obviously one of the greatest of all time in Peyton Manning. Good choice for sure. If it wasn't for football, what career would you like to pursue in?
I probably either would do like coaching, like positional
Mm-hmm.
coaching, or also was looking at careers in law enforcement. Also.
Okay. All right, sounds good. And final question for you: if an NFL general manager was listening to this very interview, why should they want the defensive end out of Arizona, Reggie Gilbert, a part of their team?
I have a very, very versatile attributes to my game. I have a non-stop motor, and I guarantee you that you're going to get my very best on every snap.
Hey, and that's all that matters. And certainly, I gotta say, it looks like you have a pretty bright future, to say the least, Reggie. I want to say thank you for taking some time this evening to chat and join the show. I appreciate it very much, and I'm certainly wishing you all the best as you get set for the 2016 NFL Draft.
All right, thank you. Appreciate you, Chris.